You believe your relationship is stable. You think you've finally settled into that comfortable rhythm after the first passionate months. The honeymoon fades. Life feels simple. You relax. You feel safe. And it's exactly at that moment everything collapses, like a switch has been flipped. The world feels disrupted. Suddenly you're walking on a minefield, standing in the wreckage wondering, who is this woman? Here's the truth that might infuriate you. They all do this, every one of them. It doesn't matter how incredible she was in the beginning, how often she said, "I love you," or how perfect things felt. Sooner or later, usually months or years in, when you're most relaxed, she starts testing you. And these aren't those early cute, "what are we" games. This is something primal, fundamental, something that will define everything moving forward. She doesn't do it intentionally. It isn't strategy. It isn't conspiracy. It's biology. Her subconscious waking up with one question. Is this man really the rock I thought he was, or was it an act? The moment that question forms, the tests begin. And if you don't recognize the game, you've already lost. She doesn't test you from the beginning because early on you were an unknown quantity. You were a challenge, unpredictable, a man with his own mission, social life, and core. But as months turn into years, you get comfortable. You start putting her and the relationship on a pedestal. You merge your life with hers. You stop being a challenge and become reliable, predictable, attached, and that is the trigger. That's when her deepest instincts begin to doubt whether you're still the valuable man she fell in love with, or just another guy who gave up. This is the harsh truth about the female subconscious. It doesn't see nuance. In her reptilian brain, men fall into two folders, strong or weak, dominant or submissive, those who lead and those who follow. There is no mostly strong. You are either the rock or the water that flows around it. Every interaction, every reaction to her tests becomes data her subconscious uses to decide which folder you belong in. The strong man has a mission, knows his worth, doesn't wait for permission to decide. He doesn't shrink from confrontation, doesn't panic during emotional outbursts, and isn't terrified of her leaving because his world doesn't collapse without her. When she tests him, he barely notices. Standing his ground is his default setting. But the weak man is the complete opposite. He lives for her approval and is terrified of her anger. It's easier for him to give up a major principle than endure 1 minute of her displeasure. He trades his principles, his boundaries, even his soul just to avoid a fight. He confuses love with capitulation. He believes his helpfulness is care, but in reality, it's a trade for peace. He thinks his job is to make her happy, and in the end he loses respect and with it her attraction. Every time he bends, every time he puts her feelings above his own dignity, he tells her subconscious, "You were right to doubt me. I really am weak." I saw this happen to a guy I used to work with. In the first year of marriage, he was a rock. He went to the gym, met his friends for poker, worked on his projects. His wife complained occasionally, but he'd smile and say, "Honey, this is what keeps me sharp." But slowly the complaints turned into guilt trips. "You love poker more than me. We never spend time together." Instead of standing firm, he started surrendering. Gym sessions dropped from 4 times a week to once to 0. By 45 years old, he had gained weight, hadn't seen his friends in months, and his wife treated him with open contempt. Not because of the weight, but because he gave up. He failed test after test by compromising his core, and her subconscious moved him from the strong folder to the weak folder. Now we get to the part that shocks most men, the part that contradicts everything romantic comedies teach. The more dependent you become on her, the weaker you appear. It destroys the happy wife, happy life myth. Think back to the beginning. When she couldn't get enough of you, were you needy? Were you blowing up her phone or canceling plans just to be available? No. You had your own life. You had options. You were good with her, and you were good without her. That was your strength. Now, everything has flipped. The thought of her leaving sends shivers down your spine. Her mood dictates yours. Her approval becomes the air you breathe. You call it being in love, but her subconscious reads it as neediness, a form of weakness she detects instantly. Let me clarify what happens in her head when she senses this weakness. It's not that she wakes up thinking it's time to ruin your day. It's deeper. It's instinct. When her subconscious catches the scent of neediness, an internal alarm goes off. I call it verification mode. She starts poking, creating friction, starting arguments out of nowhere, all to answer one question. Is he really this weak? Or am I mistaken? In this narrative, it's not malice or evil intent. It's framed as biology. For thousands of years, a woman's survival and her children's depended on aligning with the strongest male. A weak man meant danger. Today, the stakes aren't life or death, but the software hasn't updated. The firmware is the same, and her subconscious still scans for a leader who can protect the tribe, even if the tribe is just the two of you. So the tests start small. She questions a decision you made. She picks a fight over which TV channel you chose to watch. She goes cold to see if you panic and chase. She pushes a boundary to see whether it's a real wall or just a suggestion, and the whole time she's watching. She doesn't care about who is right. She cares who is holding the frame. Will he break or will he stand firm? Will he stay calm or get sucked into her emotional tornado? Most men fail right here because they don't even recognize the test. She starts an emotional argument, and you respond with spreadsheets and logic, assuming explanation will calm her down. You're making a fundamental error by trying to solve an emotional problem with a rational tool. But the argument isn't the point. It's just the arena. The real question is whether you stay centered or let her chaos become your chaos. The moment you step into her emotional field, you accept her rules of the game, and this starts a destructive spiral. She provokes. You give in to keep the peace. She feels a drop in respect and pulls away. You panic, fearing loss. You chase. You apologize, buy gifts, promise to do better. She comes back, but not because you won her. She returns because the test isn't over. She needs to see how far she can push, and the cycle repeats, each loop grinding you down, making you weaker and more desperate. I had a good friend, a real wolf in the business world, confident, decisive, respected, but at home, it was a different story. His wife would ignite massive fights, threaten to take the kids, even pack a suitcase, and every time he'd break, he'd beg, make promises, buy expensive jewelry. She'd come back, things would calm down for a month, and then the cycle returned. 3 years later, he was a shadow of himself, relying on tranquilizers. He was afraid to choose a restaurant without her approval. The man who commanded boardrooms was tiptoeing in his own house, and eventually, she left him. After all the compromises and sacrifices, she walked away for a guy at her gym, a man who made a fraction of his income, but had the one thing my friend had surrendered: his spine, his core. The trainer didn't care about her drama. He didn't build his life around her. He didn't need her approval. And her subconscious, starved for strength, locked onto that instantly, even though her conscious mind knew my friend was the more sensible choice. Now let me show you exactly how men fail these tests. You will recognize yourself in this. First, you respond with logic. She creates an emotional storm, and you try to reason with a hurricane. You fail because the test isn't about logic. Then you respond with fear, fear of her anger, fear of being alone. So you apologize immediately. Even when you've done nothing wrong, you concede and you signal weakness. Every time you do this, another drop of her respect dies. You try appeasement. You bury her in gifts, compliments, and let me do that, turning yourself into a servant begging for approval. The more you chase, the needier you look, like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. You try vulnerability. Some men go to therapy, get told to open up, spill their deepest fears, cry. She says she's proud of you, and 6 weeks later she's with someone else because in this narrative, her subconscious interprets it as you proving you can't handle pressure. You even call in reinforcements, her mom, your friends, hoping social pressure will fix things. All that does is broadcast to the world that you're too weak to handle your own household. I had a client who tried everything: logic, pleading, therapy, and books. His wife would start nuclear wars over tiny things. How he parked the car, the sound of him chewing. He tried every life hack he could find. It only got worse. She started openly flirting, staying out all night. He was on the edge of a breakdown. And then one day, something in him just clicked. He stopped being afraid. Not angry, just indifferent to her drama. She started a fight and he said, "I'm not doing this," put on his running shoes, and went to the gym. She threatened to leave. He calmly answered, "If that's what you need to do, I'll help you pack your things and put them in the car." He wasn't bluffing. He genuinely let go of needing her. And the astonishing thing happened. The tests stopped. She became affectionate, respectful, more like the woman he first met. Why? Because his internal state changed. He no longer needed her. So what's the answer? It's the part most men don't want to accept. You must have a backbone. You must show that you have boundaries that are non-negotiable. This doesn't mean becoming a tyrant. It means you stop accepting disrespect. She starts drama. You don't get pulled in. Not with anger, but with boredom. I'm not interested in arguing. When you want to talk like an adult, let me know. Then you leave the room. Work on your project. Live your life. She threatens to pack her bags? That is your decision. I will not beg someone to be with me. If she insults you in front of friends, you calmly say, "We are leaving," and you leave. There have to be clear consequences, not emotional punishment, but firm boundaries. But here's the critical distinction. Most guys hear all this and think they need to turn into a cold, unemotional jerk. They put up a wall, act distant, pretend not to care, but that isn't strength. That's fear in disguise. Fake aloofness is just another attempt to control her reaction. You can still be loving, you can still be present, but it must come from integrity, not neediness. The needy man compliments his wife, hoping for approval or sex. The man of integrity compliments her because he feels like it, expecting nothing. His actions come from abundance, not deficiency. The needy man avoids arguments because he's terrified she'll leave. The man of integrity faces problems calmly because he values respect and isn't afraid of the outcome. It's not about loving her less. It's about your love not outweighing your self-respect. You can be fully engaged without being emotionally dependent. True strength is loving her deeply without needing her desperately. When you reach that state, when you're genuinely good with her or without her, the tests disappear. Her subconscious stops seeing you as a survival threat. It receives the signal, verification complete. This one is reliable, but here's the most important part. You can't fake it. You can't pretend not to care. Her subconscious will detect anxiety, insecurity, fear of losing her, no matter how still your face is. It's about who you are, not the behaviors you perform. Your internal state matters more than any outward alpha pose. You must reach a place where your happiness and self-worth come from you alone. Think of it this way. If you're starving and someone offers moldy bread, you'll eat it and say thank you. But if you've just finished a 5-course dinner, you'll laugh and walk past. The bread hasn't changed. Your need has. That is the difference between emotional neediness and emotional integrity. Most men stay emotionally starved, accepting disrespect for crumbs of approval. The man of integrity is already full. He walks away because he knows he has other opportunities. The grim truth in this narrative is that if she has already placed you in the weak folder, it may be too late for the relationship, not as revenge, but as a subconscious filter that rarely reverses. She saw you crumble. You can't make her unsee it. That's why you must keep your core from day one, your values, your self-respect, your non-negotiable boundaries. Once you dissolve them, the relationship is already dead, even if it keeps going for 20 more years. Boundaries aren't ultimatums. If you talk to that guy again, I'm leaving. That's a threat, an attempt to control her. A true boundary is about you and what you will or won't tolerate. The weak man tries to control her. The strong man controls himself. No drama, no threats, just consequences. Every woman tests, not because she's bad, not because it's personal, but because the test is coming. You don't choose whether you'll be tested. You choose whether you pass or fail. You can stay the guy who chases, apologizes, and collapses, or become the man so centered in his own life that tests bounce off him. Here comes the final paradox. The moment you truly don't need her is the moment she needs you the most. The moment you aren't afraid of losing her is the moment she fears losing you. The moment you're strong enough to walk away is the moment she does everything to stay. This isn't presented as a game or trick. It's described as a fundamental law of masculine and feminine energy. Now you see the matrix. The question becomes, what are you going to do with it? Will you keep pretending everything's fine while things fall apart? Keep blaming her? Keep failing tests you never knew existed? Or become the man whose strength is so undeniable that tests aren't necessary anymore? Your strength isn't a shield you hold. It's an aura you can't fake. Don't realize this after losing everything. The tests are coming. The knowledge is a responsibility. It's not about acting alpha. It's about finding the man you were before fear and neediness took over. The man she first met. The man her subconscious searches for. The man you must become to find freedom and real respect. Now, if this video gave you something to think about, hit like, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Before you go, make sure you watch the next video. It picks up exactly where this one leaves off. Here's what I want to know in the comments. Do you think people stay weak in relationships because they're afraid of losing someone, or because they don't actually know who they are without them? Drop your answer in the comments.